Our modern world is powered by energy, and a significant portion comes from fossil fuels, oil, and natural gas. These resources fuel our industries, transportation, and homes, driving our economies and shaping our lives. From gasoline for cars to natural gas for heating, these resources are integral to our way of life. Millions of years ago, our planet's oceans teemed with microscopic life. Tiny algae and plankton captured the sun's energy through photosynthesis. They formed the base of the food chain, supporting a diverse ecosystem. Their remains became the building blocks of oil and natural gas. These ancient oceans were vastly different from today. The climate was warmer, and the atmosphere was different. As organisms died, their remains sank, accumulating over millions of years. This created a rich organic soup on the seabed. Layers of organic material were buried under sediment from rivers. This burial protected the organic matter from decomposition. The weight of sediment compacted the organic layers, starting their transformation. These sediments would eventually become the source rocks for oil and natural gas. As layers of organic material and sediment accumulated on the ocean floor, the pressure from the overlying layers increased. This pressure, combined with the absence of oxygen, created an environment conducive to the formation of kerogen. Kerogen is a waxy organic substance that is the precursor to both oil and natural gas. As the organic matter is buried deeper, it is subjected to increasing temperatures and pressures. These conditions cause chemical reactions that transform the organic matter into kerogen. The formation of kerogen is a critical step in the journey from ancient life to modern energy. As the layers of sediment containing kerogen continue to be buried deeper within the Earth's crust, the temperature and pressure continue to rise. This increasing heat and pressure initiates a process known as catagenesis, which transforms the kerogen into hydrocarbons, the building blocks of oil and natural gas. The type of hydrocarbon formed depends on the temperature and pressure conditions. At lower temperatures and pressures, kerogen is transformed into oil. As the temperature and pressure increase, the oil becomes lighter and more volatile. At even higher temperatures and pressures, the kerogen is transformed into natural gas. The specific temperature and pressure range at which oil and gas are formed is known as the oil window and gas window, respectively. If the temperature and pressure are too low, the kerogen will not be transformed into hydrocarbons. If the temperature and pressure are too high, the hydrocarbons will be broken down into simpler molecules such as methane, the primary component of natural gas. Section 5. Migration and reservoir formation. Once formed, oil and natural gas are less dense than the surrounding rock and water. This density difference causes them to migrate upwards through porous and permeable rock formations, such as sandstone or limestone. This migration can continue for millions of years, until the hydrocarbons encounter an impermeable layer of rock called a cap rock, which traps them. The combination of a reservoir rock, which can store the hydrocarbons, and a cap rock, which prevents them from escaping, forms a geological trap. These traps can take various forms, such as anticlines, faults, and salt domes. These geological formations are essential for the accumulation of oil and gas into commercially viable reservoirs. The migration of oil and gas is not always a straightforward process. The hydrocarbons can encounter various obstacles along the way, such as changes in rock permeability, variations in pressure, and the presence of water. Section 6. Non-renewable resources, a finite supply. Oil and natural gas are classified as non-renewable resources because the geological processes that form them take millions of years. The rate at which we consume these resources far exceeds the rate at which they are replenished naturally. This means that the amount of oil and gas available on Earth is finite, and we will eventually exhaust these resources if we continue to rely on them at our current rate of consumption. The finite nature of oil and natural gas has significant implications for our energy future. We cannot rely on these resources indefinitely, and we must develop alternative energy sources to meet our growing energy demands. This realization has spurred research and development in renewable energy technologies, such as solar, wind, and geothermal energy. We must use these resources wisely, minimizing waste and maximizing efficiency. This includes developing new technologies for extracting and processing oil and gas, as well as exploring alternative uses for these resources beyond energy production. Section 7. Variations in oil and natural gas. Oil and natural gas are not uniform substances. They exist in various forms, with different chemical compositions and physical properties. Crude oil, the unrefined form of oil, can range from light, low-viscosity oils to heavy viscous oils. The quality of crude oil is determined by factors such as its sulfur content, density, and viscosity. Natural gas is primarily composed of methane, but it can also contain other hydrocarbons, such as ethane, propane, and butane. The composition of natural gas can influence its heating value and its suitability for different applications. Some natural gas deposits also contain impurities, such as sulfur compounds, which need to be removed before the gas can be used. Understanding the different types of oil and natural gas is essential for optimizing their extraction, processing, and utilization. Section 8. Challenges and prospects in energy production. The production of oil and natural gas presents numerous challenges, both technical and environmental. Accessing deep-water oil and gas reserves requires sophisticated drilling technologies and infrastructure. Extracting hydrocarbons from unconventional sources such as shale rock poses its own set of technical and environmental challenges. The environmental impacts of oil and gas production are a major concern. Oil spills can have devastating consequences for marine ecosystems. The extraction and combustion of fossil fuels contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, which are driving climate change. Despite these challenges, there are also exciting prospects in energy production. Technological advancements are improving the efficiency and reducing the environmental footprint of oil and gas extraction. Section 9. Sustainable resource management. Sustainable resource management is crucial for ensuring that we use our natural resources wisely and efficiently. This includes minimizing waste, maximizing efficiency, and developing alternative resources. In the context of oil and gas, sustainable resource management involves optimizing extraction techniques, reducing emissions, and exploring alternative uses for these resources. One aspect of sustainable resource management is improving the efficiency of oil and gas extraction. This includes developing new technologies for enhanced oil recovery, which allows us to extract more oil and gas from existing reservoirs. It also involves minimizing the environmental impact of drilling and production activities. Another important aspect of sustainable resource management is reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. Section 10. Conclusion: A legacy of ancient life. The journey of oil and natural gas from ancient life to modern energy is a remarkable testament to the power of geological processes over vast stretches of time. These resources, formed from the remains of microscopic organisms that lived millions of years ago, have profoundly shaped our modern world. Understanding their origins is essential for appreciating their importance and managing their use responsibly. As we move forward, we must recognize the finite nature of these resources and the need for a transition to a more sustainable energy future. This requires a concerted effort to develop and deploy renewable energy technologies, while also managing our remaining fossil fuel resources wisely and efficiently. The legacy of ancient life, embodied in oil and natural gas, should serve as a reminder of our interconnectedness with the Earth's systems. By understanding the processes that have shaped our planet and its resources, we can make informed decisions about our energy future and ensure a sustainable and prosperous future for generations to come.